I spoke with Lieutenant Jeff Garden, who said that the driver was going at a high rate of speed when he hit that tree right there. You can see skid marks on it, went through the home. You're seeing that activity behind me. That is Summit and Rice Street. I just spoke with Metro about 15 minutes ago, who did confirm that one person was shot in this incident. I want to switch to the phone view here because we're underneath the car. Talk about exactly where these rodents go in and what exactly are they doing?
You might get some, especially when the car is warm. On this particular vehicle, this is covered all underneath here. They like to crawl up from the back and get up where it's warm.
We are a little bit out of Washington Springs. They started actually on Saturday in Rapid City. They're making their way all the way to Sioux Falls on bikes.
Winter weather alert.
And I just want to leave you with this last look here because you can barely see here in Murdo. The driving conditions, non-existent. The reason why standing water can be so dangerous on the road is because it can be pretty shallow in one area, but it can get deep before you even realize it.
Are our eggs still in there?
I don't see it.
It's a new tradition Dusty LeBrun started with his 4-year-old son, checking traps when Jack gets out of daycare.
It's fun for him. He's excited every time he gets to go check a trap. Look, there's another deer track.
Dusty put traps out just a few days ago because he liked the idea of the Nest Predator Bounty Program. It's for South Dakota residents only. They can trap 5 different species during nesting season, which is April 1st through August 31st.
So by trapping them, we can thin out those predators, thus increase the success of nesting for pheasants and ducks.
Which is very important for South Dakota.
It brings in a lot of hunters from all over to come here and pheasant hunt. So it's important to the economy, important for the South Dakota residents.
Raccoons, possums, fox, skunks, and badgers can all be trapped. Dusty has 6 traps with bait in them around his house.
We're looking for raccoons and possums. My kid really wants to catch a badger and a skunk. I don't really want to catch a skunk.
Because I never saw the real one before.
Uh-oh.
What?
But there's still some excitement when it's not a badger or a skunk for Jack.
He caught one.
Dusty is doing this for his son, so he has something to do outdoors in the nice weather.
All right, come on. Can we help you cross?
And it's something Dusty says they actually enjoy doing together. Andy Howe has been sheriff in Clay County for 16 years. This is the first time he remembers the jail being this full with 30 inmates. Up until a few years ago, his jail was the one holding extra inmates.
And we were seeing actually revenue to Clay County in the neighborhood of $7,000 a month for housing these other inmates.
Now the roles are reversed. He's having to use other counties to house his inmates.
And based on a few months last year, we projected $15,000 for 2019, but I'll use that up in the next month. So it's going to be a considerable unbudgeted expense.
But housing isn't the only thing that's costing him. The inmates have to be transported if they're staying in different counties.
Whether it be in court, transporting to doctors, transporting to and from other jails, it really ties up a lot of our time.
And Deputy Shannon Kamala would like to be spending that time elsewhere.
Sometimes it's just one deputy on shift, and then you gotta pull us off that shift to go handle a transport. And it inconvenience other people on shift because they have to come in on call or cover extra hours. Sheriff Howell says this shifts the priorities of the deputies. I'd rather be patrolling and doing calls than getting tied up with transports.
Vanessa Gomez breaks down the history of Lake Lorraine and how it got its name.
This is Hilda Lorraine, the jewel of the family.
Warren and Hilda Friesen grew up just miles apart on the west side of Sioux Falls. They met when they were 15 years old in 4-H and got married 10 years later.
You made her wait that long?
No, she made me wait.
But as Warren has figured out in his life, some things are worth waiting for.
There's a process over time, but there always is a vision.
He knew he wanted to own a lake in his life because when he was younger, he got in trouble for fishing on someone's land.
That was in the back of my mind. Someday I'm going to have one. they can't kick me out of.
He bought the first parcel of land in 1975 and continued to buy what is now 130 acres at Lake Lorraine until 1991. The lake was gradually built over 20 years by his company, Friesen Construction.
A lot of people drove by there for years and didn't know there was any water there.
Warren's vision for the land started as a place for a private housing community. Then, he changed it to condominiums around the lake and hired a developer to do just that in 2007.
Well, the economy kind of turned. So I said, well, we're not going to take a chance, so we shut it down.
The Friesen family took a chance in 2014 and partnered with Van Buskirk companies to develop the land.
We're happy that we waited because this seems like the best fit for the property.
Sometimes it's hard to believe. And my father, he's 87 and this has been his dream.
And that dream has been fulfilled in an even bigger way.
It's fun to see. We knew it would be something special, and Hilda was something really special. So it's fitting that we used her name.
Hilda and Warren were married for 62 years before she passed away last spring.
She didn't like Hilda too well, but she liked Hilda Lorraine. And I did too. I loved her.
Now, Lake Lorraine will shine bright like the jewel it is to the Friesen family.